Injuries can end seasons, injuries can change seasons, and injuries can even change the future. Let's take a look at 3 big injuries from this weekend around all sorts of football. Big injury of the weekend was, of course, Arian Foster, the oft-injured running back from the Houston Texans. Late in their blowout loss to the Miami Dolphins, he was cutting to his right, he set his foot back, and his Achilles tendon just gave out. It was very clear, it's very simple, due to the way you test this, which is basically just squeezing the calf. You could see them doing that on the field. The Texans knew very quickly his Achilles tendon had ruptured. Foster will have surgery in the very near future. Most come back from this in between 9 to 12 months. We've seen some early comebacks, such as Terrell Suggs a couple years ago with his first Achilles tendon, but there are complications, and certainly with his age and injury history, you do have to worry. Another injury to watch out for is Josh McCown. Josh McCown ended up with his shoulder injury. Normally, you hear things like couldn't lift his arm. Those tend to be structural, that there's some instability, that the shoulder socket, the ball itself at the end of the humerus, isn't moving well. It's normally not a muscular problem, so this is one we're going to have to watch closely. Now, earlier in the game, he did have a concussion, so he's going to have to go through the concussion protocol. He also had an elbow injury, and with Johnny Manziel's legal status up in the air, could be a very tough situation in Cleveland. Finally, let's go to the college game. Seth Russell, quarterback for the Baylor Bears, ended up with a broken neck. That just sounds horrible. It was one of the transverse processes, what's called a teardrop fracture. Could have been a lot worse. Now, let's be very clear. Luckily for Russell, there is no spinal cord involvement. It's very painful. It likely ends his season. Now, you might remember last year, Bryce Petty, their quarterback now in the NFL, had injured transverse processes in his back and was able to miss just 1 game. This is more serious because of the location and because of just how important this is. Had there been spinal cord involvement at the C2 level in the cervical spine, he would have stopped breathing, and we all know how bad that can be. Luckily, Russell should be able to come back and play at some point, just not this season. Tough break for the Baylor Bears. I'm Will Carroll for FanDuel Insider, and that's all the injuries.
Hi, this is Madeline Burke from FanDuel, and thanks for watching. We put out videos every day to make sure you're up to date on all your sports news. Click here to subscribe to our channel, and click here to see more tips to think about before your rosters lock. We'll see you soon.